Hello, everyone. Welcome to the week 4 of the PD. We're very excited to have each of you participating with us and getting started here. So I just wanted to cover some last minute things about the PD and about what to expect as we wrap up the professional development. So I'm going to screen share here really quick. And by the way, I'm Cassandra Beckworth, your data specialist on the project. So if you're working with the online side, you've probably seen me a couple times. And if you're just joining us from hybrid, then hi everyone. And I'm just going to get started here. I'm going to screen share. So just give me 1 second. So the link to the agenda was shared with you guys yesterday in the email announcing that we would be having this webinar, and the slides are linked in the agenda. So you can find that there. And then we'll also link the recording, the agenda, and the slides on the teacher resource website. So as I stated, congratulations, you've made it to the 4th week of the PD, and we are so excited to have each and every one of you working with us and participating. So I'm just going to go over really quickly what you can expect from this 4th week, and then we're going to talk about payments and then also transitioning into the academic year. So the first thing is we want you to continue working on your lessons and units, of course, and I've linked the pacing guides in there. If you're in the online side, you will be working with your master teacher to finish those up, and they'll be completing the grading this week and next week. And with the online side, we typically ask that you guys give your master teacher about a week to finalize all of your grading and get caught up on that and provide you with feedback. If you're in the hybrid program, you're going to be in the final week here, and you might be in person participating. So you're going to be working through the pacing guide with your master teachers, and they'll provide you more information in your sessions about what to expect about feedback and those other pieces. And just a really quick reminder here, if you're an online participant, we want you to continue meeting with your master teacher this last week. So if they have not yet held a meeting, please go to that and make sure you're attending. And another thing is we understand some of you asked for extensions in the online side, and your master teacher will work with you to develop an extension completion plan. So what that's going to be is a step-by-step guide that's going to walk you through the final days of the PD and how to complete your extension. And I just wanted to add a quick note here that your master teachers should be the ones that you're contacting. If you need an extension, they'll work with you. And also, I just want to throw in the caveat here that we understand that this is a really busy time of the year for you guys, but we also reserve the right to review the extensions and work with you for a solution that's best for the program and yourself. So if you're participating as a research participant, we have a little couple pieces here for the remaining requirements. And also if you're in the PD only program, we're going to ask that you complete the final exam and post survey. The final exam is a good way to assess your own knowledge, and it's also the same final that your students will take during the academic year. So we highly recommend that all of you do that. And if you're a research participant, that's required. So how that process is going to work is we will send you out a token similar to what you got for the post survey. So you'll get a token via email with instructions about how to access the assessment. Once you have taken the assessment, we will grade the final exam. And again, we just ask you to allow a little bit of turnaround on those. So in the past, our policy has been that we grade every Tuesday and Thursday. With the PD, we would probably be grading a little bit sooner, but and we'll get that feedback to you as quickly as possible. We just ask for your patience as we wrap up the end of the PD here. And with the final exam, you will be able to see the answers that you selected and also how you scored. And this is, again, how your students' exams will be scored and graded. So it's the same final that you'll take for the PD that your students will take in the spring, same format, so you can get used to that and you know what to expect. And mobile CSP will grade the final exam for your students. So if you are a research participant, all of your students need to be completing the final exam at the end of your course, regardless if you're teaching an AP format or not. That's just a requirement that we have for our research participants. The final remaining requirement is the post survey, and this will also be sent out to you via token and via email. And this is a great opportunity to provide us with feedback and let us know your insights. So if you encountered issues along the way, or if you thought something was done really well, the post-survey is your opportunity to tell us that. And it's also paired with our pre-survey, of course. So we use that information to see how our participants have improved and if their opinions of computer science have changed at all. And also, I just want to point out here that the information that you provide us on the post-survey directly influences the change that we'll implement for the 2018-2019 PD. So all of the changes we make in the curriculum are supported by the feedback of our participants. So this is a great opportunity for you to voice your concerns or the things that you thought we did really well and would like to see more of. So please take the time to complete the post-survey when that comes out. And these will be issued on Friday, July 21st, so you can expect your token to arrive then. And it'll come to you via email, as I said. And if you don't get that by Friday afternoon, send me an email or send Pauline or your hybrid coordinator, your site person, or your master teacher an email and let them know that you did not get that. So after you have finished those pieces, you've completed the PD. Yay, congratulations. We're so proud of each and every one of you. We understand that this is very go, go, go for the 4 weeks, but you stuck with it, and we're very excited to have you done. So step 1 is complete the PD, and you're an app inventor. We have stickers that we'll send out to you, or if you already have some that say you're an app inventor and they have the mobile CSP logo on there, so congratulations, you did it. Step 2 is once we have received the feedback from your master teacher, and again, just please allow a little bit of turnaround on that, but once we have received that and we verified that you met all your requirements, you'll receive a certificate of completion from us. And if you are in the research portion, you'll not only receive your certificate of completion, but you'll take the first step in getting your payment. And I'm going to talk about that process here in just a moment for payments. And step 3 is teach mobile CSP. So we hope that you have a great academic year with mobile CSP, whether you're teaching it and you underwent the PD only or you're a research participant. So we're really excited, and the feedback that we've gotten from our students about the curriculum is really great and really inspiring. So I included 2 quotes from students here. And you can see the gentleman on the top says, if you're not into math or logic, but you're into art and the creative side, this class could help you improve those areas. So he was very excited about mobile CSP and the fact that he was able to implement his artistic and creative side into the curriculum and get going with apps. And then the lady on the bottom, the most interesting thing about this course is being able to relate to what our future is going to be like. So I personally think that's a really powerful quote. It's not only showing that these students enjoy the curriculum, but also that they feel empowered with what they're doing and that we're on the right track here. So we hope that your students will have similar experiences with mobile CSP, and we're really excited to get the academic year going. This final piece here the first step for your stipend payment process, I just want to go over really quick. So if you raised funds through donorschoose.org, whether you're a PD only participant or a research participant, any funds that you raised through donorschoose.org will be handled by CS for All. So the week of the 24th is the week after the PD, so that's next Monday. That's when we communicate with CS for All that the PD has been completed and that you've met all your requirements. And then CS for All asks for 2 to 3 weeks after the PD to verify that your payment has been processed and sent out. So CS for All will contact you directly about your payment. So if you have any questions about that, you can follow the instructions that were provided to you, or you can contact us at Mobile CSP and we'll get you connected to someone for CS for All. We just want to make a note here that Mobile CSP is not handling these payments, so we'll do the best we can to help you through it, but unfortunately we can't speed it up, and CS for All might require you to take some extra steps or do some things that is handled by them. So we're going to do our best to help you through it, but again, just keep in mind that the payment will be coming through them and handled by them. So if you're a research participant and you're expecting your $1,000 stipend, I just have a really quick overview here about what you can expect with the stipend process. So the week of the 24th, so next week, we're going to verify that you completed the program. As I stated earlier, after we have checked in and your master teacher has verified that you've completed all the units and lessons, and after we go through all the final exams and post surveys and all of that information, we'll check you off as complete. If you're getting paid through the College of St. Scholastica, they'll process that payment the 31st. And then the week of August 7th, is gonna be when the checks should be sent out, but we ask that you allow 2 to 3 weeks after your paperwork has been received at the College of St. Scholastica to expect your payment. So I'm going to explain the process a little bit here to you because it's a little complicated about how the paperwork processes through with the research. Most of you will be being paid through the College of St. Scholastica, regardless if you're hybrid or online. And the way you know who you're being paid for is we will contact you and let you know. So with St. Scholastica, we're going to require some paperwork from you, and Trinity's process is just a little bit different. But we'll handle all that. We'll let you know what's going on, and we'll help you through the process. This is just a really brief overview about what you can expect. So the week of the 7th is when we expect payments to be processed. And then 1 to 2 weeks after that, you should see your payment. So we would say mid-August, you should be looking for that. Now I want to explain the payment process to you guys really quickly, just so you understand what's going on and you know where to direct your questions as we go through it. So the first step is that we send you your paperwork, and as you can see, mobile CSP is the best. And we send that to our participants. You guys fill that out, you sign it, and you return it to Pauline or I, and then we run like crazy to get it approved by Jen and Sherry. So at this point in time, the paperwork's already gone through 2 hands. It's gone from you to me or Pauline, and then us to Jen and Sherry for approval. The mobile CSP team then brings that to the finance department at the College of St. Scholastica. At the College of St. Scholastica, it has to go through 2 departments. Once it does that and it's been processed, they mail your check out to you, and then you get your money and you celebrate. So as you can see, it's a little bit of a complicated process. So once we submit your payment request, we don't have control over how fast that gets processed. So we will submit payments all together, and we ask that you complete the paperwork as soon as possible, so not to delay the issuing of your payment. And the reason why we submit them all together in bulk is so they go through faster, which may seem a little counterintuitive there, but if we have all of your guys' paperwork ready to go and we submit it all at once, it seems to get processed quicker. And that's also something the College of St. Scholastica requests from us. So we're going to ask you that you submit your paperwork as soon as possible. If you submit it later and we have to send it through by itself, it may have a little bit of a delay. But we can't, I mean, it might go through great, but we just ask that you submit it as soon as you can. If at any point in time you have a question about where your paperwork is or the arrival of your check, we can most certainly track that down and give you an estimate of arrival. But because it goes through these multiple steps that are required by the institution, the College of St. Scholastica, it takes just a little bit time to get caught up with that. So if you have questions, please bear with us, and we're going to do our best to get you answers as soon as we can. And just look for that payment by mid-August. If it's the beginning of September and you still do not have it, please contact one of us and let us know. And we're going to be following up with you too if we don't hear from you or if your paperwork's not submitted. So this is what the stipend payment process looks like, just a quick overview of what to expect. And the first step, once we verified that you've completed, is we're going to send you that paperwork. So we verify completion, send you paperwork, you complete that, we get that approved, and then it goes through the College of St. Scholastica through processing. I'm going to say it one more time here, just so everyone understands the process. Mobile CSP will send you paperwork to complete. You'll complete the paperwork, return it to us. We'll approve it and then submit it to the College of St. Scholastica. After it's been submitted, it may take a week or two to get out to you. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. So I'm going to move on to the academic year expectations. This applies more directly to the research participants, but if you're a PD only person and you're going to be staying on in your cohort to work with them throughout the academic year to get that support, this information may be relevant for you as well. So during the academic year, you're going to work through the lessons that were not covered in the PD with the support of your master teacher. What that means is if there was a lesson that we didn't cover or a lesson that you don't feel as confident about, you're going to work with your master teacher to get that completed and make sure that you feel confident before you teach it. So that's your master teacher's primary role during the academic year, is to make sure you feel prepared to teach the curriculum. So please ask them questions if you're not sure about a topic. Just because the PD has ended does not mean that they're no longer there to help you. We want to really stress that with this project, is that we have you stay with your master teacher in your cohort so you have someone that you can go to and ask questions. If you're a research participant, you're going to be required to attend monthly meetings, similar to what you did in the PD. So if you were in the hybrid and you had those in-person meetings and then a meeting each week you were working online, or if you were in the online program and you met once or twice weekly with your master teacher, that's now going to transition to monthly meetings. And in those monthly meetings, they'll be discussing those units or lessons that weren't covered, pedagogy pieces, and then also making sure you guys are on track for research requirements if you're participating in that portion of the project. So it's really important that you attend those monthly meetings. They have lots of great information. Your master teacher is going to offer a couple different times that you could come to, so we ask that you please make that commitment to be there in your meetings when your master teacher sets them up. If you're not able to attend a monthly meeting, please connect with your master teacher. We'll also have opportunities for makeup meetings, but we really encourage you to stick with your master teacher and not rely solely on the makeup meetings or the individual meetings. It's important to remember that your master teacher is also teaching the course, so they're setting up meetings that work for them, and they're definitely going to be as flexible as they can, but please make that commitment to be there. Also, during the academic year, you're going to get support from the mobile CSP team. So we'll be sending you monthly newsletters that explain upcoming opportunities, webinars, and maybe some information that's important for you to know. So please look for those. We typically try to send them out the second week of the month. About Tuesday or Wednesday was what we did last year. That might change this year, but you can look for those, and we'll be starting those in August, and you'll be getting those weekly monthly emails during the academic year. We will also be hosting webinars throughout the academic year, so kind of similar to what we do now, but instead of 30 minutes, they'll be an hour long. And last year, we covered topics such as the College Board rubrics, the APCSP digital portfolio, POGL, which is process-oriented guided inquiry learning. So we discussed that strategy and that pedagogy piece. We talked about curriculum lessons not covered in the PD, technical writing, recruitment, counselors for computing resources. This year we have some great topics like admin and counselor buy-in that we're going to go over. So there's lots of really great information that we discussed during those webinars. So the recordings will be available for you to watch whenever, but please try to watch those webinars, at least pieces of them, and so you're getting the information that you need. And it's especially important for research participants because we'll talk about the requirements as they're coming up and provide you with reminders. So those will all be recorded for you to watch if you're not available to watch the live stream. I also, at this point in time, want to mention that we have an upcoming audit process webinar. So Pauline is going to be talking about the College Board audit process for the 2017-2018 academic year this week. So we'll send out that information to you so you're aware, and we ask that you attend that so you have a heads up about the audit process. And research participants, also during the academic year, you're going to be needing to submit research data to us. If you are in the project, you should have got this project requirements linked into your acceptance letter. So this just goes over what you can expect moving forward. the requirements for the academic year and what you'll be needing to submit. Next Tuesday, the 24th, let me just double check on that. Excuse me, the 25th. Next Tuesday on the 25th at 6 p.m. we will be having a webinar about data for the academic year. So please try to be there. It's really important that you guys understand what you're responsible for submitting if you're a research participant. And this goes over the things that you're going to need to upload and submit to us. And we'll talk about that more in depth on Tuesday. Okay, so at this point in time, I know it's kind of a short and sweet webinar. We try to keep these about 30 minutes. So at this time, I am going to open it up to questions or concerns and see what I can do here. Unfortunately, by myself tonight, we had some little bit of technical difficulty. So just bear with me for a second while I work through this. I'm going to stop my screen share. Oops. And we're going to try to work through the questions as they come in. So just give me a second here to get caught up. I see we have Sherry in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Sherry, and hi everyone else. So if you have any questions about wrapping up the PD, please let us know at this time. Otherwise, you can follow up with your master teacher too. I'm just going to give you guys a couple more seconds here. Not seeing any questions come in. I know I went over things kind of fast, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or your master teacher and we'll get those answered for you. Okay, so I see some coming in here. I have a question about, there are some discrepancies between the pacing guide and the actual lessons and the template. Which wins out? So the pacing guide should be what you're following. The templates will be updated. We just finished curriculum updates here. We have blown to bits left, but then the curriculum will be completed and updated and we'll be all good. So pacing guide, follow your pacing guide, talk to your master teacher. They'll help you get figured out what you need to complete. I also have a question, is the final an open book one? No, the final is not open book and they do not have access to a calculator, but they will have access to the AP exam reference sheet. So when you take your final exam for the PD, you will see there's a link in there to access the reference guide, and your students will also have the link to that. So they can use that during the exam, but it's not open book. And another good tip here to add is that you should be monitoring the final exam, but we'll be going over all that stuff as we kick off the academic year. I have a question about a reminder for the webinar next week. Yes, you will get that by email. I'll make sure to send that out to you guys. Okay, well, thank you all for joining, and thanks for your time, and I wish you the best of luck wrapping up the PD. We know you guys can do it. You're in the home stretch now, so just keep on chugging, and we'll get through it together. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. It was good to see all of you, and hopefully we'll see you next week at the academic year overview for data. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining